schools. And once again, the gathering data piece. So it's just like there's all these possibilities for connections to other subject areas. That makes it a little lighter because sometimes, especially with my ancient civs piece, I find that I do so much work in there. And I'm fortunate because I've got my grade 5s. And so I still have them for social studies and math. So sometimes I cross over, and instead of having social studies today, we're actually doing math, but the focus is the social studies. So I'm getting 2 marks now. I'm getting 1 for my social studies and 1 for my math. You know?
And I think that's probably the cross-curriculars more common with the language and the social studies, but just, yeah, trying other things and even tying it into like the art curriculum with drama and art, skits, role plays, especially with ancient civ. I mean, they would love that kind of stuff, right? Surveys, conducting surveys, and that could tie to citizenship. It could also tie to the origins, countries, background, cultures.
And you can do graphs on that.
Tied to data management, yeah, celebrations, traditions, anything to do with that in terms of surveys, right? Oh, biographies, profiles on hometown heroes, national, local, global.
Like a survival edition tape, you know, you video record a past diverse citizen or group, telling why are they the best survivor, because how did their experience in what they've done help them make them a better person and change the attitudes of people and change their communities. You know, that pitch, that wanted, but just to make them excited to learn about it and then present it in a unique way. For students to explore social structures and approaches to differences in diverse early societies, particularly with respect to how power was distributed and what was valued or devalued. There's this game, and it's more for a contemporary context, but you can put it into the past. You put pennies in the middle or candy, and you set the kids in a circle all spread out, and you put mitts on some of them. Some of them have to sit out. Some get shovels or scoops. And you say go, and they're to touch nobody, and they have to get as many pennies as they can. And in the end, you'll realize some kids got more pennies than others, and why. And you could talk about what do the mitts represent in this, you know, who, you know, the people with the mitts had less power. Why? Who are they in the past? Who are they now in society or globally? You know, the people with the scoops, who are they? Why were they able to get more money? And now what can they do? You also give them a chance, I know I told you this before, but you give them a chance that before you talk about that, you say, does anybody want to exchange pennies? Give anybody pennies? Does anybody want to ask for pennies? And you'll notice then, unfortunately, maybe a popularity or a friend thing, like I'm your friend, you only have 3, I have 10, I'll give you some. And then you talk about how countries there are connections between certain countries helping and others not, and you talk, and you talk about that. And that can go back to ancient civilizations and the barter system and slavery, like we talked about earlier, but that can also go to the geography section of it, or the B section of it, talking about which world poverty really, and what is our role. Yep, who shares the wealth and the power.
The open questions that they might come up with, like maybe some of the ones we didn't talk about, they might have other reasons.
Yep, and why they wore exactly, the mitts. Yeah, and what the mitts represent, and what the scoops represent, and how did they feel? How did the people with the scoops feel, and how did the people with the mitts feel? Because really, you can't say the people who got all the money felt good in the end. And how did the people sitting at the back feel that didn't get anything? And now what are they going to do? Right? How are we going to go forward?
I guess you could tie that into rights, responsibilities as well, and the citizenship piece.
And even why do we try to make laws in our country to try to break down the barriers of that? It doesn't always work, but you know, to try to get rid of poverty or the lack of food,
or just shifting the power.